Now we'll talk about, like as I was explaining you about the fuels, okay. Like when anything burns, we cannot say that this is a fuel, okay. But first of all, like what is fuel? Before discussing that, I will talk about the classification of substances, means which kind of substances, the classification of fuels I am talking about, the classification of fuels on the basis of the physical state, okay. So, I am talking about classification of substances on the basis of their physical state. So, what we are talking about? We are talking about classification of substances on the basis of their physical state. But now, are we really talking about the substances or are we talking about the fuels? So, shall we replace substances with the fuels? Because now we are talking about what? See, anything which burns cannot be called as fuel, okay. The fuel is one which has its own peculiar characteristics, okay. So, anything, many substances, like the substances which burns, we have studied, are known as combustible substances. So, around us there are many substances which are combustible, but all these substances cannot be included into the fuels. So, for this simple reason, I just want to replace this substance with what? With fuels, okay. So, the substance 4 will be replaced by fuels. So, classification of fuels on the basis of their physical state. See, normally if I talk about how a substance can be, or what is the physical state, on the basis of the physical state, how a normal substance, okay, how a normal substance can be divided into. So, when I am talking about a normal substance, so it can be divided as into what? Like three states: solids, liquids and gases. Same is the case with the fuels also. How it can be divided? Same: gases, liquids and what? Or I can start in the either way: solid, liquids and gases. So, if I write over here substances, then we will talk about how the classification can be done on the basis of the physical state of any substance, like it can be solid, liquid and gas. And in the same way, when we talk about fuels, again it can be divided in the same way: solid, liquids and gas. So, now we are talking about the classification of fuels on the basis of their physical state, okay. So, it can be solid fuels, okay. So, what is the meaning of solid fuels? First of all, very simple. See, the substance which are there in the solid form. But which substance I am talking about? I am talking about the fuels. So, those fuels which exist in the solid state are known as solid fuels. So, let me write the definition over here. Those fuels which exist, okay, in the solid state are called as solid fuels. Okay, very simple. What we are studying? We are studying classification of fuels on the what basis, children? On the basis of their physical state. Okay. Now the first one is solid fuels. Now what fuels are what fuels can come under the category of solid fuels? Those fuels which exist in the solid state are called as solid fuels. Now give me the example, like what can be the examples of solid fuels, children? So we all know what are the solid fuels, like maybe for example coal, wood, okay, coke, charcoal. So all these are the examples of the solid fuels. Which one? Coal, wood, coke and even charcoal. All these are the examples. Very simple thing. All these are in the solid form and so these are known as solid fuels. Okay. So this was our number 1. Now we will talk about number 2. Okay. Now what is number 2, children? It is liquid fuels. Okay. It is liquid fuels. So how can we define liquid fuels? Very simple. In the same way, those fuels which exist in the liquid state at room temperature is also very necessary to write. You can add over here state at what? At room temperature. I will write over here at room temperature. Okay. So in the same way we can write over here those fuels which exist in the liquid state are called as liquid fuels. Okay, very simple. Those fuels which exist in the liquid state are known as liquid fuels. Now, what can be the examples over here, children? For example, we all know the fuels which exist in the liquid state. Which can be these? These are the plenty one. Everybody can understand. These are what? Petrol, okay, diesel, okay, kerosene. So these are the fuel which exist in which form? In the liquid form, and so they are known as liquid fuels. Okay. Now we will talk about the third one. Now what is the third one, children? Third one are gaseous fuel. Okay, third is gaseous fuels. Okay. Now what is the meaning of gaseous fuel? Those fuels which exist in the gaseous form at room temperature. Again, write a note over here at room temperature. Okay. So again here also how to define those substances which exist, okay, which exist in gaseous form at room temperature are called as gaseous fuel. Okay. Now, what can be the example here, children? Please think about that. For example, we use these kind of fuels very often. It is very close to us, of course, in our kitchen first of all. So, what is that? Okay, we are saying that liquid petroleum gas. So, where should it come? Where should it go? Liquid petroleum gas, CNGs. So, why and where it should go? We'll just have a look about this. I have written over here petrol, diesel and kerosene, and now I am talking about what? Now I am talking about the gaseous fuels. So, what can be the example, children? It can be, just now as I told, it is there itself in our kitchen. So, it is LPG, okay, coal gas, okay, even compressed natural gas. So, these are like, one can get, a question can be there in the mind. Let me write over here LPG, that when I am saying that this is liquid, so why I have not written here? The reason is that it comes in the form of the gas, okay, like it is compressed and filled, okay, but when we burn it, it is what we are burning? We are not burning what? Liquid, we are burning actually in the gaseous form, okay. What is there in the LPG? Butane is there actually. So, butane is a gas which we burn. So, what is there? Butane is there which we burn, like in the, what is there in the cylinders? Obviously, butane gas is there. So, children, what was this? This was about the classification of fuels on the basis of their physical state. So, solid fuels, those fuels which exist in the solid forms, liquid which exists in the liquid forms, and then again what? Gaseous which exists in the gaseous form, okay. So, this is how we can divide the fuels on the basis of their physical state. Now, just we will move to the next topic. So, we were talking about like whatever substance burns, do we call them as a fuel or fuel? To say that this substance is a fuel, it need to have certain more characteristic features. So, now we will talk about like how can we say that this particular substance is fuel. So, first of all we will talk about calorific value, okay, calorific value. Okay. Now, what do you mean by calorific value? So, children, the amount of heat produced on the complete combustion, okay. Please pay attention, the amount of heat produced on the, by what? By the complete combustion of what? 1 kg of fuel, okay. Let me write the definition first. The amount of fuel heat produced on complete combustion complete combustion of 1 kg of a fuel, and it is measured in kilojoules upon kg. Now, please see, look here. We'll talk about calorific value. What do you mean by calorific value? Children, when a substance I am talking about, how can we say that the substance is burning? Can we put that, can we add that into the category of fuel? Can we say that the substance which is burning is a fuel or it is not a fuel? So, how can we decide that? See, there are various points how to decide that. So, before going to those points, before discussing those points, we'll talk about calorific value. Now, what is the meaning of calorific value, children? The amount of heat produced, the amount of heat which is produced on complete combustion. Now, see, this word we are well aware of now. What is the meaning of complete combustion? That means now unleft, the proper amount of oxygen is available and the fuel is burning properly, So, when the complete combustion of 1 kg of a fuel, So, when I say that the calorific value of a fuel should be high, that means what, children? The amount of heat which is produced by the complete combustion of that particular fuel should be very high. Again we will talk about this calorific value, children. What is the meaning of this? When you burn something, see, there are many substances. Now we will talk about only fuels, So, there are many fuels like we use wood, coal, charcoal, liquid petroleum gas, compressed natural gas, diesel, kerosene, petrol, even the cow dung cakes, even that is considered and even used as fuels, fuel. So, when we talk about fuels, all these fuels have their different calorific values, When I am saying, children, that all these fuels have different calorific values, means what I mean to say is, these all fuels, which fuels, children? Maybe the cow dung cake, coal, petrol, diesel, LPG, CNG, all these, all these substances have the different calorific value. It means that these substances or these fuels produce different amount of heat on burning. See, when I am saying that they produce different amount of heat on burning, then how much fuel are we burning? Even that should be fixed, no? Or else, then what will happen? Suppose I am saying that this particular fuel is producing more of energy, so it may be because I have taken more quantity of that fuel, So, when we compare the things, so it should be in one level. So, how it is? The amount of heat produced on complete combustion of what? 1 kg of a fuel. So, either it talk about cow dung cakes, coal, charcoal, petrol, diesel, LPG, CNGs, whatever, but the quantity is fixed 1 kg. So, when 1 kg of any fuel is taken, and when I am saying the calorific value is high or the calorific value of this particular substance is low, what does it means? That when 1 kg of that particular of any particular fuel is taken, then what? It's the amount of heat produced is low or heat. Now, say for example, if I talk about, if we compare the calorific value of coal and LPG. So, the calorific value of coal is lower than the calorific value of what? LPG. What does it mean? It means the amount of heat which is produced on the complete combustion of coal is lesser than the amount of heat which is produced on complete combustion of LPG. Of what should be the quantity? Now it is fixed. When I am saying calorific value, that means when I say calorific value, it is automatically fixed that I am talking about 1 kg of that particular fuel. Okay. So this is about the calorific value. Now see, whenever we talk about any, we need to have units. So it is measured in what? How can we measure what is the unit? So it is kilojoule per kg. What it is? Kilojoule per kg. Okay. So this is the way how the calorific value can be measured or can be calculated. Okay. Now we'll talk about the calorific value of few substances. Okay. When we talk about the calorific value of few substances, so how does it goes? When I say the fuel is better in calorific value, that means that particular fuel has higher calorific value. If I talk about few substances like cow dung cake, okay, so it can be from 6,000 to 8,000. Okay. Now if I talk about wood, it can be from 17 to 20,000. Okay. Now when I talk about petrol, it can be 4,500. So now have a look on this calorific value. When I am saying that cow dung's value is this, okay, calorific value, wood's calorific value is this, and what? Petrol's calorific value is this. So which one is higher? So which one can be higher, children? I have written something here. There's no need to reduce a 0. Okay, I rub the 0. So cow dung's value, calorific value is this, wood's calorific value is this, and petrol is this. So which one is higher? Just have a look on the calorific values. So you all can understand like which one is a better fuel. Why? Because the amount of heat which is produced is more of what fuel. Okay. So this is about the calorific value. Now what are the bases? On what basis we can say that this fuel is better? Okay. So there are certain characteristics of ideal fuel, like we are talking about features of ideal fuel. Now when I am saying like I'm talking about the features of what? Ideal fuel. See children, actually there can be no fuel which is totally ideal, but still it can be somewhere the features can match at least, it should not be totally different with the what we want the fuel to be. So what can be the characteristics of the fuel, of an ideal fuel? So first of all, see the fuel which you use, do you want that fuel to have high calorific value or low calorific value? Because now you know the meaning of calorific value, that means the amount of heat which is produced. So obviously the first point is calorific value, okay, it should be what? Low or high, children. So calorific value should be high. Okay, calorific value should be high. Okay, the fuel which you are using, if it is very costly than the other fuels, then will you, try to use that fuel, or you will avoid that fuel? So again, it should be like what? It should be economical. Okay, so it should be cheaper Okay, now next one, the fuel which we want to use for our vehicles, it should be available also, no children. Like it should not be the case that whenever you want that particular fuel, you have to go you have to find some, you have to go out of the way. So what? It should be easily available. Okay, so easily it should be easily available. Now what can be the next? Like I am saying that the calorific value of that particular fuel should be high. I am saying that it should be cheaper. I am saying that it should be available very, very easily. What can be the next one, children? See, it should be easy to store. Okay, it should be easy to store or transport. Okay, like one should be able to store it. Obviously we do not store petrol, but at least we need to have cylinder at our house. So which cylinder? LPG. Okay, so easy to store or transport, that means it should be like quite easily, it should be fit for the transportation. Nowadays even the LPG is available through the pipelines. It will be at your own kitchen through the pipelines. Okay, the work is in quite progress, so that you can get the gas through the pipelines. So there will be no need to store it, to keep the cylinders, or to have the we have to inform the in the office that our cylinder is over, and now we have to be in queue, sort of so now there will be no like that system is quite clear. Now we don't have to be in queue, we don't have to call, we don't have to inform that our cylinder is over and we need a new one. So what? It is easily available by what? With the help of what? Pipelines. Now what can be the next point? See, when we are using something, it should not emit any kind of poisonous substance. Okay, should not emit poisonous substance. Even residue should not be left. So what I am talking about, that should not emit poisonous substance. Okay, it should not be the case that when it is having all the qualities, but when we burn it, it emits the thing which comes out, it emits poisonous thing. Okay, or else we won't be able to use it. Now next one which I have written, residue should not be there. That means the leftover things should not be there. should be eco-friendly. Now see, this is a little contradictory point because all the fuels which we are using are also not eco-friendly, okay, but it still like should pollute less, and so that is the reason we shifted from coal to the LPG. Obviously there are more reasons, but then we shifted from coal to LPG, we shifted from petrol and diesel to CNG. Why? Because these options are more cleaner, they are not as big pollutant as the other fossil fuels like coal and the petrol and diesels are. Okay. So now these are the points. What can be the next point? See, one more very important thing, children, that suppose if you are using a fuel and you kept it open and it catches fire, just imagine how disastrous will it be. So again, a very, very important point, that ignition temperature. Now we all know the meaning of ignition temperature. So ignition temperature should be above room temperature. That means there should be difference above room temperature. That means, children, there should be difference between the room temperature and the ignition temperature of that particular fuel, because if we use any fuel which is having very low ignition temperature, then it can be very disastrous, because in summer days, just by the rise of few degrees, it can catch fire. Okay. Now one more thing, it should produce moderate heat. Okay, it should produce moderate heat. I'll write somewhere here only. Okay, should produce moderate heat. Okay, because there was no place, so I am writing over here, it should produce, this is which point? 9th, children. Okay, it should produce moderate heat. That means the heat should not be very low, okay, but it should not be extremely high, which again becomes difficult for us to cope up with. So now these are the features of ideal fuel. Okay, features of an ideal fuel. I can even write N over here. Okay, so what are the features of an ideal fuel? So calorific value should be high. That means heat produced should be high. But again I have written over there, should produce moderate heat. That means the heat which is being produced on burning of fuels, it should not be very high. Okay, it should be moderate. It should be useful for us rather than being disastrous or destructive. Okay. Now second is, it should be cheaper. It should not be very, very costly, which becomes beyond the reach of a common man. It should be easily available, easy to store or transport, should not emit poisonous substances. That means even if a fuel is having all the characteristics, but if it emitting poisonous substances, then obviously we can say that that fuel is of no use for us. Then again, it should not emit residues. The leftover should not be there. As you just see, when you switch on when you lit the gas, okay, when you cook after. Obviously, I am saying that when you cook means I am not talking about you cook, means when your mother cooks. Okay, so there is no leftover. Nothing is, when you lit the gas and you switch it off, then nothing is left. You won't find any ash over there. So again, this is a very, very good feature, because it matches to the what quality of an ideal fuel, that it does not produce any kind of residue. Then where were we? Okay, then residue should not be there, should be eco-friendly, a big contradiction. That is the only problem which we are having regarding the fossil fuels, that we cannot survive without them. It's very, very true, but at the same time the fossil fuels, they emit lot of pollution. Okay, now what is the meaning of pollution and what are the gases which comes out due to the fuel, and how they affect our atmosphere, how they affect our Mother Earth, how they affect even our body, which kind of diseases are they responsible to, like which kind of diseases are they spreading. So we'll just have a talk, we'll just discuss about that. Okay, so just now we have discussed about the calorific value of a fuel. Okay, what is the meaning of calorific value, children? The amount of heat which is produced on burning of 1 kg of any fuel. It is measured, like what's the unit? Kg upon what? Kg, like kilojoule upon kg. Now, different substances have different calorific value. Few substances have low calorific value, but few substances have high calorific values. Okay, now after that we studied about the features of an ideal fuel, like what can be the features of an ideal fuel. Now we will talk about what just now we were discussing, like what are the effect, okay, what are the consequences of using the fuels. Okay.